Welcome back, everybody, to Middle Earth. This is Count MRVHS, and we are in maybe episode 5. Hard for me to recall of our 4th Age Rhun campaign. I think what I've decided to do here, since Adunabar is still besieging the settlement, and they've got some interesting units, I'm not too worried about them at this point, but let's just bring my emissary around to see. No signs of any big army on the horizon. So I think I'm going to move Brada down for the moment, at any rate. He can maybe build some watchtowers and just be added pressure on Khand. Now, I do share a border, as of our capture of Akarn, with Far Harad. This is something I've neglected. And so what I think I want to do is establish trade rights, get them to pay for it, and see if there's any hope of establishing an alliance. Okay, they're offering a little bit. I'm going to try to milk them for a bit more. How about just 200, but also map information? They're going to want more than... Okay, great. So they give me their map. They give me a couple hundred of gold. Mirian, as we call it in the mod. And so this opened up a couple of settlements to me, which is great. This is Alagos. It's a very small, very undeveloped settlement that is, I believe, a victory condition for Khand, as well as possibly for Far Harad. I can't quite remember. But this is a rebel settlement, and so this means that Far Harad may be busy working on this, in addition to pursuing their war with the Empire of Harad. Now, I notice here that they've uncovered some more settlements for me. Here is our closest Haradrian settlement, Karas Agar. This is a very important settlement of the Empire. If you're playing Harad, this is your far eastern outpost, and it tends to become a target of factions like Khand and Far Harad. So my guess is that Khand is not at war with Harad, but Far Harad is, so that's almost certainly them besieging Karas Agar, which is good. Anything, in my view, that keeps Harad on the back foot is welcome. It also looks from this map information that Far Harad has managed to hold on to their initial settlements, which is fantastic. And so things are looking pretty good. Maybe we want to try an alliance. Okay, they want some money for that. I'm just going to try an alliance with no cash. Okay, and that worked. So this is kind of an interesting scenario. Far Harad is allied with Harondor. Harondor is at war with our other ally, Adunabar. So the diplomacy here is a little tricky, I guess. I'm not sure, and I don't know if anyone is, to be honest, how far the AI takes these diplomatic agreements into account when it comes to their opinion of the player or the reputation. The reputation of the player is something that was made very explicit in Medieval 2 Total War. You could actually see how trustworthy you were considered by the other AI factions, and you could see how your relationship worked with them. Those meters were all displayed. In Rome Total War, I suspect that you have basically the same system as in Medieval 2, with the big difference being that all of that stuff is buried. It's just hidden, and the game unfortunately doesn't show it. So I suspect that there's going to be some hit in relations, perhaps, between me, Far Harad, Harondor, and Adunabar, given the way these alliances and wars are working out. I am allied with Adunabar, but I'm also allied with an ally of Adunabar's enemy, if that makes sense. Okay, but the reason for doing this is in part to offset the fact that I've got 3 wars going. So we've got a couple of allies now, and hopefully, my faction leader's influence is going to hold steady. Okay, this army hasn't moved, but as I was saying last time, we do want to get this army, at least the general, out of Akarn. Who do we want to leave inside? well, I normally hate to mix, to sort of merge units like this. I would prefer to send this unit of 16 axemen north, but you know, it is going to take us a while before we get reinforcements, so I'm going to leave him here. I don't think I'm going to merge. I think he can stay in the settlement. Let's see, what do I have? 70, I think, is the max amount of archers, so 39 and 39 will still leave some. Okay. So let's take all of these guys out. We'll leave the axemen, leave this unit of archers, leave this unit of archers, and see what that looks like. Yeah, not very good. We've got it on low taxes. We're going to need some more soldiers here. Or we're going to have to consider moving our capital south, which might not be a bad idea. Let's go ahead and bring a unit of warband in, 65, and one more half unit of warband ought to do it. We want to get up to 70. That's basically the limit in terms of public order. It shows as a red face, but at exactly 70, you should not actually experience a rebellion. And with our provincial pacification almost complete, hopefully that will help. We're going to get a bit of a law bonus going. Now, I don't want to attack just yet. I suspect I will be attacked next turn, but I do have this army, which may end up relieving. So we're liable to see a pretty close fight coming up. Okay, 4,000 in profits coming. And I'm going to have to use that on yet more training. Let's get another warband. Let's get yet another unit of archers, because again we took a lot of losses down there. Let's get another unit of cav, more axemen. Let's retrain that unit of warband and get another skirmisher unit. And 1543, I think we'll call that good, and we'll just wait for our building. Okay, see something rather ominous here. The northern marches, Thordram, is now no longer held by the rebels, but by North Rhun. So while they're losing to Dorwinion over here, they have managed to pick up a settlement to their east, and they've not taken North Rhun itself, oddly enough. That's still an independent settlement. So I think it might be time next turn for me to build a watchtower here, because I want to know if an army is approaching. There are some slingers, so I'll go ahead and grab those. So it's a good thing, I guess, that I'm doing this training. All right. All right, North Rhun wants to trade. I wouldn't mind, I guess, now that we do border each other. But I would like some money for it. I would like to keep them as weak as I can. All right, they're going to give 400. All right, so they're giving me 900 for trade rights. I'm contemplating an alliance with North Rhun since we're trading already. Let's see if they'd be willing to pay for an alliance. They are. Okay, no, they are not happy with that. It's too generous. Always an odd objection by the AI. But we may be able to get it next turn. Alright, and we were not attacked by Khan, but it looks like they've still got an army around. Okay, we got a lot of training done. And Akarn has finished provincial pacification. We're still looking at 70% public order. Okay, and again, we're going to have to go right ahead with that fiefdom dominion. This is going to bring us a good deal of money as well. A lot of corruption, though. So, it might be time to consider moving our capital to the south. Currently, it is Tham, which makes sense initially. It's very centrally located. But now that we're expanding to the south, we've got some corruption penalties given the distance to the capital. And, of course, unrest. Although, notice that just jumped up to 75 when I queued up the fiefdom dominion. So, what I think I may want to do, though, is experiment a little bit. You can sort of see what's going to happen by checking the settlement details screen in your financial tab. So, right now, with our capital at Tham, we're looking at minus 2375. If I move that to Adel, which is basically a step further, we need to open up the province details and set as capital. Was it 2375? Yep, so now we're only losing 2216. It's a bit better for our income, and public order looks a lot better here. We do want to check the other places to make sure they're not too unhappy. But it doesn't look like we're going to suffer too badly. Now, I spent basically all of my money on that fiefdom dominion, so I will not be able to afford to build a watchtower. But that's something I want to do in both the north and the west here, because remember, we do have Rovanian right over here. Speaking of that, let's see. I wonder if we can get a ceasefire with Dale. Okay, they own the fort of Karnan. We've got Dale and the dwarves. They're at war with me and at war with North Rhun, and the dwarves are the same. So both of these factions might be open to the idea. Let's try Dale first. Ceasefire? No. Okay, so we're not even going to bother with the dwarves then. It's both or nothing. Okay, Bray Gestalad. This, I believe, was the army we saw several turns before, heading, or at least aiming in this direction. That's somewhat encouraging, but I want to bring my emissary into this fog of war area just to make sure there's not another force looking my way. Okay, and here we go. It looks like Adunabar has successfully taken both of these rebel settlements, and it doesn't look like they're going to be losing them. Although Amron Migord does show signs of revolt. Alright, so they got a pretty strong quarter stack here. This is Shadow Guard is a unique non-replaceable unit. If you completely wipe out this particular unit right here, Adunabar will not be able to make another one. This goes for the player as well. So they are a very, very elite unit, and they're going to be a big target for us if we come to blows. They've also got Axes of the Shadow, which are another good unit for them. It gives them a rare bonus against armor, which Adunabar doesn't often get, or at least the Dunedanic factions often don't get. Adunabar actually is in a pretty good position with that respect. They do get mace men that are effective against armor too. Okay, so hopefully this will rebel, and they'll have to take it again. Alright, we've got some troops still heading south. Alright, we wanted Warband. Now, given that we're looking at rebellion here and we're not seeing a big threatening Adunabar army, I think I can risk it to use my faction leader's force to attack Khan. So let's just see how that looks. And they retreat, as I expected they would. Now, I don't know if I can actually get to them with this army. I may run out of movement points. So the question is, do I want to attack them with Alwar? You know, I may. We've got some more horse archers available here. Yeah. Let's grab it, and we'll attack with Alwar. They've got no place to run. We are outnumbered, but that's largely on account of these low-level nomadic watchmen, which come with 110 men per unit. We do out-missile them quite severely. We've got 3 units of horse archers to their 1, 2 full and 1/2 unit of archers. The challenge here, of course, is going to be these axemen, and in particular the Variag warriors. But let's do a save. And see how this works out on the battlefield. If I can take out that unit of Variag warriors, they shouldn't be able to train anymore. We'll have to see how their other settlements look. If they get high enough in the military development line, they will be able to train some more of them. Okay, we've got rain. It's hard to see, but I think it is a little drizzly. So I'm going to wait just for it to look a bit clearer. That's probably good enough. Okay, with the horse archers, I like to deploy them in basically, if I've got enough, to sort of go on both flanks and completely surround the AI army. I don't have enough to do that, so instead I'm going to have sort of a left flank push. The reason for that is Rome Total War is sensitive to the positioning of the shields, and everyone's right-handed in this game, so if the enemy is facing me, their unshielded side is going to be on my left, so I want to send my archers that way. My horse archers anyway, and from the front I'm going to face them with my regular archers. We've got a nice little line here of not too tough units. Now my Eastland Raiders are basically warband mounted up, so they're not that special honestly, but they are a good unit for chasing routers, for charges from the back. And my General Ulwar, I'm going to keep him in the center here, take him off skirmish, and we'll see what happens. They're probably going to be set up on that hill. Yeah, that's not great. But again, I've got the missile advantage. So let's send these guys forward. And I see they also have this area protecting their flank, which is kind of a pain for me. I was hoping to attack them and shoot from their right side. Okay, and here are the Variag warriors. An amazing looking unit. I think Weba 84 put these ones together. So we don't want to face them in melee, as you can imagine from the axes and the armor. We do want to shoot them though. I know they are wearing some heavy looking mail, but our best bet is going to be just to shoot them down and maybe get some cav charges in too. Let's speed up our marching speed a bit. Here's their general's unit, which is some steppe outriders. Okay, and they're going to approach, actually. They're going to come into range, and I'm going to send my own foot archers forward, and we're going to start a good old skirmish duel. Keep my raiders back for the moment. Actually, I think I'm going to move them on this side so we can get in some charges over here. 45. So they're taking heavy losses under fire from my 3 units of archers. Horse archers are in range as well. Looks like they may be shooting at nomadic watchmen or something similar. So I'm going to halt my archers so they don't run into the AI. And those watchmen are deciding to retreat. I don't want to get a lot closer because they do outnumber me and outmatch me quite a bit in terms of infantry. So I want to keep my infantry line back here. That'll give my archers plenty of room to skirmish and And plenty of room for my infantry to be supported by cav if needed. And it looks like they are coming with those Variag warriors, so that's not great. They're probably going to catch. Okay, good. They're going to think better of it. Alright, we'll try to catch those Variag axemen. My spearmen run my cav back, deny them the charge, and now that they've turned about to engage, I'm going to let my cav form up, and then we will do a charge. Alright. Great. Good, good. Alright, Variag warriors, notice they're down to 36 men. That arrow fire is really hurting them. Still quite a few step outriders left. Variag warriors, looks like they're chasing my horse archers, which is great. Okay, and those axemen are routing. Oh, I didn't even notice. We had some watchmen engage and almost instantly rout. So we're going to do a war cry, and we will have to get stuck in here. And I'll bring my general around as well. Took a lot of losses, possibly from their own horse archers, or maybe they even got caught against the rocks here. Alright, let's bring my general around. Let's bring my cavalry around. Those Variag warriors are now routing. They're just outnumbered. I'm not too worried about these nomadic watchmen, but they may catch the horse archers against those rocks if we're not careful. Alright, great. There goes the enemy captain. And it shouldn't be too much longer. These watchmen are already shaken. Halting my archers as I don't really need them anymore. Alright, there we go. I'm going to halt and let my horse archers, let's see, they've used all their arrows, so we'll just let them get these kills. It'll improve their experience. Okay, so that's that. I believe that army is gone now. So 485, lost 100 men. And we took a good amount of losses on the Easterling Warband and among my horse archers. I wish I saw what happened there. I'll have to take another look at that. But, all told, I think that's pretty good. We have one major army that we still have to account for that belongs to Khand, but I don't know exactly where they are. Alright, now that Brada has done his work, I think I want to send him over to the west. He's going to head over here, and eventually, once I start making some money again, I will build some watchtowers. And then I'm going to do the same with Alwar, but going in the other direction, I think. We'll send him over here.
Move. Unable to move. My lord? Yes, my lord.
Now that we've taken out the armies that are on our own lands, I do want to see if Khand is open to anything. Let's try with map info, see if they want anything. Nope. So maybe next turn we'll try again with a ceasefire. It looks like Khand has Lug left and one other settlement, which is going to be somewhere in this area. So let's bring the emissary around. See if we can uncover this. Okay, Thandos is the new heir. I've been tearing through the Khandian royal family here, so this is a new guy. He may have been headed east, and that's fine. I'll be able to take care of him with Brada. But we still want to uncover that settlement. It's probably in this part of the world. Alright, always want to do a save after a battle. And we're going to have to end the turn there. We can't train anything, and I think we've moved everything already. Let's see. Now you'll notice that there's no more unrest showing in Gargoyle, so Dorwinion has managed to build this up to the point where they can actually hold it. Let's head down here. Am I allied with Northrend? No, I am not. And it doesn't look like this place is under siege anymore. So this is interesting. We'll see how this plays out after the break. Okay, Fan of the Tribe of the White Ox. Where is this boy? Inept and incompetent. But he is in a Karn, and so he must be Brada's son. So we've got, oh, Shadow Touched. Well, he's not an heir. Maybe he'll come around eventually. I think he's going to be another fighter. Energetic is about the best we can say about him. So we want to get him out of the settlement. I do not want him to rule. But maybe I'll put him with Ulwar's force just to have that other cav. Harondor allies with Tharbad. We finish control posts in Erebos and Moldin. That is going to cut into our income a little bit. Okay. Alright, and that army's gone, so I, again, really want to make sure Rovanian is not sniffing around. Doesn't look like they are. Alright, population in Erebos is looking pretty good. I really need some watchtowers, though. So, and I can only afford one. They cost 2,500 a turn, and I'm making only a little more than that. So the question is, where do I need them the most? One over here might be good, but then again, I don't expect Khand is going to hold on to Lug much longer. I should be able to take that out of their hands. So I think it's probably more pressing to have one down here to keep an eye both on Farharad as well as, you know, anything coming from the southwest. Let's get an emissary around just to see if there's any armies approaching, and it doesn't look like it. So bring Brada right down here and spend the money on a watchtower. That's good. That gives us just enough line of sight to keep an eye on Naur Imloth. And we found there is that army. He is just a noble. He's not the faction leader. It'd be great if we could take him out. I think we possibly could. I would love to have a few more archers, but they're not there yet. I'm just looking for any other armies of Khand in this area. If I don't see any, given that we're trading and we're in fact allied with Farharad and they don't have a big threatening force here, I may want to move Alwar into towards this settlement. Yeah, I think I will do that with the idea of pressuring them a bit more, besieging it, and then trying to bring them to the bargaining table. Now, one of the things that's going to be working against me is my income. I do not have a lot of money. I'm doing a lot of building. You know, it's all necessary, but it is making it, or it will make it hard to do really good diplomacy. The AI values money quite a lot. So I'm going to move Brada over here up to the northwest. And maybe in another turn or two, I want to take out this field army. With that army gone, I should be in a better position to start to get some diplomatic concessions. But again, money is going to be very important there, and I just don't have a lot of it. Let's bring down the Cav. See if there's any Dunabar armies in the area. There don't appear to be, and hopefully they'll lose this. Another turn or so. Okay. So I think I've done all that I want to do at this point. We do have some troops here. I'm trying to decide where I want to go with them. Erebos has one skirmisher, a couple of warband, an axeman unit. Up at Rakos, which is, you know, the more valuable settlement, I've got a decent deterrent, but not great. I think I'll send these down to the southwest.
No more moves.
The Dominion of Men. Okay, this is interesting. So, this pops up when one of the really important alliances in the game has broken down. It could be that there is war between the elves and the Reunited Kingdom. It could be the Reunited Kingdom of Rohan have come to blows. It could be some fighting in the Shire. Hard to say initially. Okay. I do want to check the diplomacy here. The Shire is still allied with the Reunited Kingdom. The United Kingdom is still allied with Rohan. So what is it? Dale and the Dwarves? Dale and the Dwarves. Interesting. Okay. So, I'm at war with both of these factions. I think, given the way that their alliances are set up, they're still going to follow each other into wars. Geez, I wish I knew what was going on. Sometimes Dale just straight up attacks the Lonely Mountain. That's probably what it's probably the best explanation for this. If the dwarves leave it completely empty, the AI just finds it so hard to resist. Now, of course, I'm not close enough to Dale, unless I can find some emissaries nearby. Okay, there's one. Well, let's see if Dale will want a ceasefire. No, but maybe the dwarves? No. Okay. Well, at least they're no longer acting as a unified block. In this mod, the dwarves and the elves, when they are not played by the human player, are passive. When they are controlled by the AI, they basically just sit in their homelands and do not expand, with the exception of using emissaries to bribe settlements. And they can do this. It's absolutely maddening when it does happen to you. It's very rare, though. So sometimes you see them expand just through diplomacy, through that. But I'm not too worried about the dwarves, which is why I bring that up. I don't suspect that they're going to be coming after me. did make another cav unit, and I think it might be good to send this one west to Erebos.
Forward. No more moves.
Tham has been making a couple of units of axemen. Well, let's bring these guys south.
No more moves. Forward. Unable to move. Forward. Out of moves. Chief. Forward. No more moves. Orders.
Okay. Skirmishers can go to be the garrison, and now that I've got a little reprieve here, I'm going to send these 2 units north for retraining.
Unable to move.
Okay, there's that big army of Khand. They're heading back east because, I assume, they know that I've got an army there. I wonder if they'll turn around yet again when they see me heading west with Brada. Okay, so there's a small army that, again, is the heir. There we go. That's their new capital. Their new ruler. Thand of Alag Rokbin. And so, let's not beat around the bush. I'm going to move Brada right up to this point. And attack. And I'm going to move to a position that's clearly threatening their settlement. So 7 units in the city. So we see if we can identify what they are. You know, I've got enough archers that I think we could handle this. I don't want to assault necessarily, but if they should sally... Oh, geez, they got some horse archers. Okay. Then how about this? We, oops. We try for a ceasefire. Nope. When the AI has a field army left, in this case they have at least 2, the AI is going to feel pretty capable. They're only going to really come to the bargaining table when they have lost these and when you're putting severe pressure on them. So maybe if I'd thrown in some cash, they'd be more interested, but I don't really want to do that. I did make another emissary, and so he is going to head in this direction. See, Karasagar is still under siege. Okay. $24.66. So I could build another watchtower, I suppose. And I think where I need it most right now is Rovanian, west of Erebos. So as soon as I get these other troops in here, so next turn, I'll send my governor to do a watchtower. Actually, let's do it here. Oh, just out of the line of sight. Okay. Bring him back down. And another emissary would probably not go amiss, but I'm going to have to try to remember that for next turn. I would like to have someone just hanging around here just to check for armies and to communicate with North Rhun if this emissary is over here dealing with the other Northmen. Alright, we've got another coming of age. Gandor of Fenris Rim. He's a poor governor and a poor commander, but that's not so bad, and he is intelligent. That's actually great. That means if he's a governor, he's going to get better at it. He's unlearned, which is not the worst, but that could go away. So I'm thinking of setting him up as a governor. And where I think I would like him, let's see, scheming. It's going to cost a bit more to train troops under his rule. Then again, that's a bit countered by the fact that he is a plainsman. For now, it might be good to send him into Tham. If we can get a governor there, we're going to want to build this settlement up. All right. Well, I think this is a pretty good point for us to stop. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed the episode, and we will be back with the next one. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.